Hey, everybody, welcome to the Jim Masters Show live entertainment lifestyle variety talk show series. How's everybody doing today? It's so good to see all your smiley faces. Hope you're having a good day. If you're not having a good day, stick with us. You know what we do here at the Jim Masters Show live. We always entertain you, we inform you, we inspire you. We always have a good time with our celebrity friends and guests who stop by from Broadway, Hollywood, television, film, stage, music, comedy, sports, culinary arts, inspiration, and everything in between. International audience of lovely viewers watching live right now. We're so excited. Good to see you. Again, if you're not having a good day, you know this is the place to come. We lift you up with our wit and wisdom and all the cool things we do. And special guests who, again, come in and grace our presence with all of their cool projects and all kinds of great things that they're working on that they share with us. We see a lot of comments built up here. Thanks for all the levity. Yeah, we use that word a lot here because I said the show has a lot of light, love, and levity just about 2 years ago. And then everybody dubbed me the levity guy, Levity Hall King, Mr. Levity. This is Levity Hall. They are the levity viewers. We love it. It's been really, really cool. We're also going to be going to Bermuda too, which is exciting. In 2023, we're going to Bermuda with the Jim Masters Show Levity Cruise. That's right. You can check out our Facebook pages to find out more. You've been asking for a cruise. So we put together with our exclusive travel agency a really fantastic cruise and all kinds of cool things that we're doing. But we've got a very special guest who's joining us. Yes, Kasia Pilewicz. She's joining us here from Los Angeles, California. You know her from The Bold and the Beautiful, but she's also been in a lot of other projects too, Immanence and The Taylor Files and lots more. She's going to be joining us in just a second. She's a wonderful actress and filmmaker and much, much more. And she's very excited to be on the show. We're very excited to have her as well. She's also bilingual, classically trained Polish-American actress and filmmaker, and she's recurring as Nurse D. Christie on CBS's The Bold and the Beautiful. Now, you know, we've had a couple of cast members from The Bold and the Beautiful on the show. Sean Kanan's been here several times. Our buddy, Justin Torkelwitz, who used to play Rick Forrester, was on the show, and lots of others. Her lead role as astrophysics wonder kid Harper in a psychological thriller, Immanence 2, opposite Michael Beach, is currently streaming on Apple TV and Amazon. She's known worldwide as a finalist and fan favorite on Cycle 16 of the CW's America's Next Top Model. And recently, she also shot an upcoming feature, several of them, feature films Alaska, Pan American, and the Plantation Tour, as well as has a recurring guest star role in the Canadian TV series, The Taylor Files. She stars in and co-wrote and produced Normal, finalist in the New York International Women Festival 2021, among other festivals. She has a passion project created during the 2020 pandemic shutdown, which that was, and also recently directed her first short film, Heart on the Floor. That's in pre-production. Her next film, Magda, a story about the Polish women's revolution. She has modeled for many national TV shows, magazines, and with multiple wins too, nominations and rave reviews, including Broadway World Awards. And from her many theater performances, ranging from modern to Chekhov to Shakespeare, she is quite amazing. And we're very excited to have her here on the show. Gang, if you would like to comment live during our show, we have the exclusive JMS Live chat room. And when you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, which we love when you do anyway, whether you chat or not, because that helps us big time with everything we're doing here at the Jim Masters Show Live. Be sure and make sure that if you want to chat during the actual show and have us see your chat and see your comments and everything else, make sure that you do subscribe to the YouTube channel, because that's exclusively for our YouTube subscribers to Jim Masters TV. It's a gift to all of you. So I see a lot of comments already, a lot of people chatting. They all are saying hello to one another, which we absolutely love. And we say hello to our JMS Levity Squad. They are the folks who watch and support and share the links and celebrate everything that we do here at our Entertainment Lifestyle Variety Talk Show series. So hello to you guys. We're going to check in with some of your comments. Keep those comments coming. We have almost 50 comments already built up. which is exciting. Everybody says hello to each other, which I think is great. So if you want to be a part of the live chat session during the Jim Master Show Live, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. It costs nothing. And also don't forget to give the episode a thumbs up, like, and leave a comment on our YouTube channel as well. We would absolutely love that. So again, if you guys are ready, I'm ready. We've been very excited. She's joining us here on the show live from LA. She's got lots to share with us, lots to talk about. And I hope you guys will put your hands together, as we always say, and let's welcome her. There she is. And there I am. Welcome. It's so great to have you here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
I love your background too. It's nice and simple, and it's to the point. And it's. Are you in like a studio atmosphere? Where are you located now?
Thank you. I just moved 2 days ago, so it is just a background to block out the mess, you know. So that's my self-tape background from my acting auditions and stuff. It just pops right up. So.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, I had mentioned your name in the beginning, the introduction, and for everybody watching who's saying, how do they say that name? How do they say that name? How do you pronounce it?
Kasia Pilewicz.
Perfect. Rolls right off your tongues.
Anybody Polish listening?
That's it. You know, I actually have learned some Polish words from a friend. I know what dupa is. We're both sitting on ours. And
Yeah.
daj mi buzi, give me a kiss, right? Daj mi buzi, give me a kiss. Right. Working in soap operas, you guys probably know that. Because there's a lot of that in the soap operas. How's everything going? You're busy. You've got a lot of cool things that are happening. Congratulations on all the exciting things that are happening in your life, Kasia.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a good time.
Hasn't it? Yeah. Well, things are opening up now, right? Things are opening up, and studios are getting busy again, and things are starting to crank along, which is great, huh?
Definitely. If anything, I think they're trying to catch up, which is great for actors and, you know, directors, and everybody needs content, and they fell behind. And people were very creative during the pandemic to create content, but now it's like we can safely go back, hopefully.
Now everybody, can safely go back and get it all done. How did you first get started in the acting and entertainment world? What was the entree into this crazy business that we're in for you?
Way back when, I started out modeling. I got scouted at about 15, 16. I started working. I got an agent, and I'm from Chicago, so I had an agent there. And I went to New York in the summers and worked. So sort of one thing led to another till I moved to New York City. And there I discovered my passion for acting, because modeling is amazing, but I started to get a little bored. I was like, is there something more I could be doing? They're like, no,
Right.
like that face. Like,
I have something to say, something to share.
Yeah. And I've, you know, dabbled in acting my whole life, but never took it seriously or thought it would be a profession. You know, I have immigrant parents. It's not the way. It's not the right thing to do. But
and they came from Poland, right?
They came from Poland, yeah. So I grew up very first generation, slightly foreign kid. Even though I was born in the States, I grew up pretty Polish. So
you know the language too, right?
Yep, yeah, it's my first language. I mean, I grew up very bilingual, but it's great. Sorry. It's great though, because I can very easily pick up all the other Slavic languages. I played Russian and Ukrainian. I'm like, I can play all the, you know, what's happening right now in the world. I'm like, I could play any which one of those, and there will be a lot of stories to be told. So unfortunately, everything going on, but
yes, so many incredible stories.
Let's hope for peace.
Yes.
But that's my, you know, a lot of family in Eastern Europe. That's my homeland, really, I consider it. So
when's the last time you were back there to visit anybody there, family or friends?
Many years ago.
When you were a kid?
Family, yeah. I have a lot of family there, but they've more come to the US to visit. I was supposed to go back a few years, like 5 years ago. And, you know, you put it off, and then the pandemic happened. I'm like, well, now would be a great time, but you can't.
But no, it's a whole other world. I know it's changed dramatically. in such an
Yeah.
incredible way. So modeling, you did that and sort of mastered that as well, and then said, I have a voice. I want to participate in, performance at a deeper level. So then what was the first sort of acting entree for you? When did you really, was it in school? Were you acting in plays? What was happening for you early on that sort of pushed you in the direction of becoming an actress?
I mean, I grew up painfully shy, so it was never. I'd done a few plays in grade school, but massive stage fright. I
A lot
was.
of performers, yeah, a lot of performers perform because they get to be somebody else, or they can be another heightened version of themselves that normally, when they're not under pressure to do that, they wouldn't necessarily do. But when the light is on and you got to go out there and grind and do it, something else takes over. So it's kind
Yeah,
of like therapy in a way.
absolutely, yeah. And the irony is, yeah, you think you're going to be able to hide behind a character, but great acting is stripping it away and being raw and vulnerable. But there's a safety, at least for me, it feels like there's a safety in that way. So that's sort of tiptoeing into that, which was strangely hard for me, but I just felt this calling and I just loved it so much at the same time. I guess the ultimate challenge. So I overcame a lot of that just working. I mean, when I was living in New York and modeling, I started taking classes seriously and went to an acting conservatory. I started at Terry Schreiber's studio in New York, and really from that program, I was like, oh no, this is what I want to do, and did some short films. And it's not as much as in Los Angeles, but there's a lot going on in New York. So I did a little bit of
Yeah.
theater. I've done a lot of theater in LA as well, but just kind of eventually I did America's Next Top Model while I was living in New York. I shot in LA for a few months, went back to New York, and I was like, everyone was telling me it's time to move to LA. So I finally did. And that's when I think more of my film and TV stuff started happening.
Look what we dug up. There we go. There you go, huh? So when you decided to do it, like you said, you were shy. So tell us about that. What was that like? What pushed you, gave you sort of the strength and stamina and resilience to participate in something like this,
Wow. I'm reading it. I haven't read that in years. Um,
Right.
at that point, I had been working for a bit as a model, so which really freed me up and kind of, you know, it took a while, but I feel like gained my
Yeah.
confidence, and I had done a big magazine spread for V magazine that went worldwide, and
Yes.
then after that, I had gotten asked to audition for Top Model. A lot of people always hate me when I say this, but because I didn't have to go to a cattle call, they sort of asked me, and I had already was with a top agent in New York, Wilhelmina, and I was like, I'm shooing, I sort of just felt like I was going to be on. And then I came out to LA for 2 weeks for like the finals, where they bring about 30 some girls, and like half of them make it onto the show, into the house. So and they
Yeah.
played my season, they played a trick on us that they told the half of us who were actually going to be on that we were cut, and vice versa, which was heartbreaking for the other group, but great for us. And I still didn't believe it. I was like, no, they wouldn't have gone through all this trouble and kind of like walked me through this audition process. I'm like, they're not cutting me. And of course, thankfully they didn't. But it was a mean trick played on us. But yeah, at that point, I just sort of knew I wanted to get into acting and TV and film. And even though it wasn't the best strategic choice for a high fashion modeling career, even though it was a high fashion season, I kind of knew that reality television didn't lend itself to that. I was more pushing for acting at that point because I had gotten myself some training, and I continue training since, but I was like feeling confident finally that maybe I'm going to go into acting. I'm a late bloomer. I was like, okay, this will help me get on a TV series and that. And of course it never works out exactly how you think it's going to.
Right. Exactly.
There's a great fan base for the show, and it did help in some respects. Just, being on a series for the first time. This is the first time I went through a network sort of test, even though it's as you, not as a character. I've done that whole thing with the CW. So I was like more confident every time I go to producers on an acting show now. It was like,
Didn't I think I was reading something when doing the research that Tyra Banks, I think, had said something about you were like one of the top um, actresses, or your acting ability was like the top for anybody who's ever been on the series, which is
yeah,
incredible,
yeah,
right?
that was my favorite, my favorite win of the,
That's a good quote to keep and
yeah,
put on billboards on the highway.
exactly. One day, yeah, yeah, and it's great because I mean, mostly some of the girls. There's a handful of girls who've gone on from that show to be successful actresses, but to be in that group where I feel like she called me out for that is wonderful. And yeah, the best performance ever. Because we did a commercial that was in the style of Mad Men and this 1960s period style, and I love doing period pieces, so I just went for it. We had an Italian director, went into character, and it was so much fun. And I feel like I could really shine even more than in a still photo, in a commercial shoot, in a character. I could use my acting ability, which I had already been training for. I was like, I'm ready. So that was, yeah, that was a really nice compliment.
Isn't that cool to have that happen like that? I mean, it's so. What was the notoriety like? Obviously being on a show that is watched across the United States, into Canada, and almost internationally, America's Top Model. Did that start to give you the confidence to take on other more daunting tasks? Hey, I threw myself out there in front of everybody, and they're judging the look and the sound and the facial expressions here. If you really want a good test of your resilience and your stamina, be on a modeling runway or a modeling TV show where everybody's
Yeah.
looking at you and looking at you. That probably built up some strength, inner strength for you to have been able to do that and master that experience, huh?
Oh, absolutely. And it's yeah, a sort of, I call it a modeling boot camp jammed into 3 months, not even, of maybe years of experiences that some models have. So I'm super grateful for it, but the pressure was on, absolutely. So you have to build up a thick skin, which I had already been, working, and I had, but even more so now. This is going to be on national television. It airs worldwide. You hear the good, the bad, and the ugly about yourself. So
Yes.
it's very, yeah, it's very judgmental in a way, but at the same time, for every person who has a bad thing to say, there's something wonderful. That was
Yeah.
one. The mine is crazy for hair shoot.
That's a crazy shot. I love
Yeah,
it. It's fantastic,
I have
huh?
great crazy eyes. I love playing crazy characters.
That was terrific. So what was that for the audience watching?
So actually, we shot this on the Universal lot. Was it the Bates Motel, I think?
Oh
Doll.
yeah.
And yeah, so every girl had a challenge of different, like crazy for mine was hair, somebody had shoes, makeup, like different things, and we were just challenged to embody the crazy vanity of it all, which is, I like, because it's a little bit of a wink at the modeling world itself, is like the crazy vanity of the world of modeling and fashion. And it's like, yeah, how much time is spent looking a certain way and whatever.
Yeah, all
I
the
just
emphasis on it. Right. Look at this shot.
that was in prep for it. Yeah. I mean, their hair makeup team is incredible. I love all that stuff. So I had a really good time creating, or just at least watching them create all these characters. And in a way, it is acting, it's just
It
for,
is.
it's a different medium. Yeah, it absolutely is. This is not me. This is a character.
This is the character, right? Elements of you, but right, exactly. Not 100%. And of course, people I mentioned in the introduction, they know you from The Bold and the Beautiful as well. And that's a terrific role that you're in. And it's recurring, which is exciting, right? So
Yeah,
that's great. Whenever you have a recurring role, that's really exciting.
it's always great to go back to the same place and be with the same great people, and yeah, I mean, develop your role more and more each time. Yeah, it's wonderful. And the soap world itself is so great, and the fan base is incredible. I see some correlations, yeah, with like Top Model too. It's like the fans are just always diehard following, and they know the stories, and yeah, it's just great. I also have loved soap since, growing up with a foreign family. A lot of my aunts and, my great aunts and grandmothers, and they watch
All of them,
story.
yeah.
Yeah, and especially when English isn't your first language, I always think it's really interesting that they get so into that, because they sort of get drawn in every day, and can, you hear about foreigners sort of learning English from songs or from television, and I feel like the soap world's a big part of that, because you can really follow one family or a bunch of families and these stories, and they can really get into it and start to learn the language too.
Exactly. And your role again on The Bold and the Beautiful?
I play Nurse D. Christie.
Nurse D. Christie,
So,
and that's cool,
oh
and
yeah,
it
which is
must feel
great.
great being on an iconic television series like that too. I mean, they've been around such a long time and have such a huge, faithful, loyal, diehard following. It must be cool to be a part of that ensemble.
Oh yeah, and they just right around the time I started celebrated their 35th anniversary of the show, which is incredible. And just yeah, it's so iconic. It's such an honor and a pleasure to be on, and I was, not expecting that, but just to be in there with the greats, playing, the field of acting that I love, and I really take every role seriously. I did my nerd
Yeah. Oh, it's cool.
research.
And the soap operas are really interesting because I know a lot of people don't realize the scripts are huge. There's a lot you have to memorize, and there's all the different scenarios and changes, and which keeps the interest of the viewers, which is really exciting. And some of the storylines can be totally out of left field and can be take you into a lot of different directions. So, as an actor or actress, it's kind of exciting because a lot of times the writers who are creating the storylines take the characters into a lot of different directions and explore them in different ways that perhaps you might not have even realized, or others on set might not realize was the direction you were going to go in. And that could be, it makes it exciting when you go in all the time, right?
Absolutely. You never know what's coming. Yeah. I mean, I remember watching in the summers as a kid with my cousin, watching soaps, and yeah, all of a sudden, like, what just happened? You didn't see that coming. So yeah, it's always great as an actor to be surprised too, because you can really keep your chops up when you're something out of left field. Like you said, you didn't expect that, or there's no room to get comfortable. You sort of are on your toes, which is the best because it's
That's
fun.
right. Right. And sometimes it could be quite physical too, because some of the scenes and the scenarios, if it's an outdoor shot or something you see on any of the soap operas, can be really physical. You may be running and jumping and falling and twisting,
Yeah.
or clawing or scratching or whatever's going on. It
Right?
could be very
Yeah.
physical.
I love that. I say I do my own stunts. In Immanence, it's a film I have that just came out in February.
Congratulations on that.
Thank
Yes.
you. I got to do some great stunts.
Oh,
Uh,
that's the other one. Yeah, that's
that's a
normal.
different one, yeah.
Yeah, we'll
But
talk
actually
about
that
that
one
one.
as well.
Here's
That was my
Eminence.
film.
Yeah.
That's Immanence, yeah. And there,
Congratulations.
thank you. That one I'm very proud of my stunt work, because I had to co-choreograph something I had to do first with an invisible force, and then the person came in the next day to block it with me. So I had to repeat something twice. It was just a really cool experience. I've never done that sort of thing before. So
Tell us about that one. What is this about? Because I know you're able to share on this one. This is cool. And where
yeah.
can people see it?
Yeah, I hope people will see it, and I don't want to give anything away, but it's a psychological thriller starring Michael Beach, who you see there, who's an incredible actor who's been in everything since forever, and I always have seen him and admire him. So to work with him was such a treat, and he's the most generous, giving actor, and he was also a producer on this. So I learned a lot from him, as well as a handful of the other actors. It was a small ensemble, and all of them have worked, and I was just watching them in awe, like, wow, these are some heavyweights, and I want to get to that point where you're on series after series. But I came in, my character's Harper, and she's an astrophysics grad student who, by being at the top of her class, gets to go on this last minute expedition where we're hunting something which we don't know exactly what it is, a crazy sciencey tech stuff, but we get to go along on this ride, and then science and religion merge, and there's some conflict and craziness that happens, but I don't want to give it all away.
Yeah. So that's cool. I mean, just that teaser alone is enough to get anybody to watch and dive in. So they can see it where, you said?
It's on Amazon, Apple TV, and Vudu, I believe. It's streaming on a few places. Yeah. So if you just put Immanence, you can find it pretty easily. And yeah, it's done well, and people have, really loved it. The response I've gotten is great. That character was a lot of fun too. I'd never played anybody like that. So
and now this one I know is near and dear to your heart too, for obvious reasons. Tell us about Normal.
Yes. Now this one I also co-wrote and produced during the pandemic shutdown in 2020, when LA completely
came to a halt.
Came to a halt, as did many industries.
New York and Broadway, and yeah.
Oh my gosh, completely. So a couple friends of mine, we were like, well, nothing's happening. And we actually had one project. I had a script with a friend that was in the ABC showcase. We were a finalist, and then we didn't make it in, but we're like, we still want to shoot this thing. So we're like, let's go on the road and shoot it as a road trip style thing. It didn't work. But I went on this amazing 3-month road trip across the country, which I'll probably never do again in my life, which was because I was like, well, you won't miss anything now because the world shut down. And it was a fascinating time to travel the country because it was the election year, and all the protests going on, and all the Black Lives Matter protests. We went to some of the Breonna Taylor protests. It was a crazy time. But when we got to Chicago, which is where I'm from and my family was, we're like, well, the project we were trying to shoot wasn't exactly working. Oh, hi. A few comments. Thank you. So glad to be here. But yeah, anyway, we got to my sister's place, and we're sitting there, and we are like, we don't want to waste this opportunity. We had iPhones. We have Filmic Pro, this amazing app, some anamorphic lenses, some lavs. We just got some equipment, and technology is so good that now you can shoot stuff that way. And even without a crew, we were able to shoot this incredible film. So we wrote it, location scouted, did everything. That's my niece who's playing my daughter in the film. She was 3 at the time, which I was like, this is perfect. What can we use? We shot at my sister's apartment. We used her car as the picture car. It was like so many things just fell into place. And I think the universe was on our side, that we wanted to tell the story of this girl, Sarah, as the character I play, who's struggling already with a mental illness. And then, which was much in the news during the pandemic, of that being on the rise and people struggling. Hi, Lisa. So during the first few months of the pandemic, when we didn't exactly know, nobody knew what was happening, I feel like a lot of us were struggling with our mental state. So we wanted to, it's called Normal because we wanted to normalize it. And she's not crazy. She's a young single mother struggling during a time when the world is upside down, when she was already struggling, and she loses her insurance, which is centered on this spiral of a night, which is the story in this film. Sorry, long-winded answer.
Yeah, and it's amazing. So how long ago did you guys sort of come up with the idea? What was the inspiration to come up with the idea for Normal? Because how appropriate the name, considering everything we've gone through the last couple of years that has been sort of abnormal. So the timing is so perfect, huh?
Thank you. Well, it was during that time that we came up with it. We did it all, honestly, within a few days. That was the inspiration. Was there was all this talk about how, unfortunately, suicide rates were on the rise, and a lot of people were struggling with mental health. Not just mental illness, but mental health in general, because people were losing jobs and, on unemployment, and the
tough
health
stuff,
crisis with COVID, everything. Yeah. So that sort of was the initial inspiration, but then we wanted to make it really real. My goal with the character when we were writing her is like, she could be your neighbor, your sister, your friend. She's not crazy. She's not out there. This is like, could be right next door to you, and you don't even know what this person is going through in their own home, because we're already so claustrophobic being quarantined. she also has a young daughter, and she's a single mother, doesn't have any help with her. We made it so she was finished school, was a college graduate, but she still couldn't get a job. So the system just was not set up to help her. She lost her insurance because of COVID, and it was just an ongoing spiral. So how does somebody like that bounce back? How do you handle all these things being thrown at you and then a pandemic?
Good question. You'll have to watch to find out, right? What a
like,
tease that is.
So, I know that one, it's the first thing that I produced that went to film festivals and co-wrote. So that was
that had to be, what was that like? So again, it's a cool story here, because as much as we're talking about, the acting, the modeling, and all these other things, you're growing as a person through all of these extraordinary experiences, first stepping into the modeling and, sort of pursuing that and sort of mastering that, then getting into the acting and sort of really sinking your teeth. And that's sort of bringing up the confidence and the resilience and the passion, and then getting into the role of putting the hat on of co-producing and co-creating and helping with direction and storyboarding and everything else. It's really, it's like for you and your own expression of who you are, and the confidence that's coming out through the work is kind of a journey that's really cool, huh?
Yeah, thank you.
Did I hit that on the head?
Yeah, it has been. And it's sort of, now I'm trying to develop my voice as a filmmaker. I directed my first short in December. And I have another one that I'm working on currently. That is another very dear to me passion project. So developing my voice that way is sort of the next logical step for me. Scary, but of course I'm acting in the meantime and working on projects, but in my spare time I'm writing, and I have started directing. So yeah, it's even scarier, because that is your voice when you're not embodying the character of somebody else's words, which already is, using yourself in that role. But now to sort of try to be all of it and have my voice as a director I've just been taking classes now, directing classes, and my next project is called Magda, that's coming up in pre-production. And that's one, I'm really putting my blood, sweat, and tears into, but I love it. And I really hope to make another difference with that. So we'll see. But yes, it has been a climb, in my developing what I want to say into the world.
Isn't that cool? And I would imagine a lot of it has to do with your desire to want to lift people up and to inspire them, right?
Definitely, yeah. Which is sort of the beauty of what I discovered can be done with this kind of profession, and being in the public eye, which can sometimes be scary and uncomfortable for me. But when I hear feedback from people that something I've done has put a smile on their face or made them laugh or just impacted them in some way, that is why I do it. That is what, stories I want to tell. People, if they identify with it, it makes it all worthwhile.
I would imagine too, because I've even gotten them over the years working on TV and radio. They're fantastic, either fan mail or just random letters that you get from people who maybe in person would never necessarily run right up to you, but they'll send an email, or they'll send a social media private messages, or they'll send a letter, and they'll just talk about how much what you do entertains them or makes them feel good or makes them forget about the craziness of life and the chaos of the day, and how much they enjoy the character and what you've created and what you're doing with it. I'm sure you get that feedback too, and you really appreciate that kind of fan feedback and all the different things that you've done.
Oh, definitely. I think that's the best. I mean, you do it day in, day out, sometimes 2 days, I've seen. And you're, bringing levity to people. And I love that. I think that's so beautiful. And You know, the thing that I've realized too, I mean, the more you go through life, the more you realize how little we know. We don't know people's stories. We don't know what people are going through. People are not always sharing that with us. And everybody goes through ups and downs. And
Yeah.
at times, I think it was loudly pronounced, at least to actors in the entertainment world during the pandemic, how important entertainment is. Not to make it, more important than obviously the nurses and the doctors, but like people really relied on Netflix. That was the first time people were like, I needed that because you couldn't go anywhere. People were depressed, people were struggling,
Yeah.
and if they needed to watch a comedy or see something that, okay, that person's feeling the same way I'm feeling, you can relate to that. It can make you feel better. And yeah, something like your show is just bringing smiles to people. I think that's really, it's important work. It's not always easy, but it's necessary, I guess. So I love hearing that, it's made some kind of impact. I'm always like, if I impact one person with something I do, it was worthwhile.
Absolutely. What's been the feedback from the family seeing your progression and your craft? I imagine they're very proud and excited when they see you come on television or, in movies and different projects. They must be really like rooting you on, and everybody needs to have that love and that support system, to sort of, when the days aren't so great and the days aren't perfect, you have them to sort of fall back on. But I imagine they're quite proud, huh? Back home in Chicago.
Definitely, yeah. And in Poland, and my
Poland,
friends and family
New
and
York, everywhere you've been.
everywhere. New York, yeah, it's been really beautiful. I mean, the beginning, when it's you're struggling and climbing up, and they're wondering what you're doing with your life, is not always easy. But persevering through that, once they see you on TV, they're like, oh, they get it a little bit, because they don't understand my day in, day out, the kind of work it takes, the kind of prep I do on auditions or on something I'm shooting or spend time writing something. You can't really understand that unless you have seen somebody do it or you actually do it, I think. So it's been a little bit difficult, but more recently they've been very proud of seeing The Bold and the Beautiful, Immanence when that came out. I had watch parties. All my family across, like everywhere, was sending me pictures and posting on social media their watch parties, which was really nice and actually kind of brings the family together, because we hadn't had a text stream in a while. And I'm like, if I can be one project I have going on can be the connecting factor to bring my family all talking for a minute, I love that too. So I felt really good about that.
See, that's so cool, isn't it? When you have an opportunity to get that kind of feedback and bringing people sort of in as they're celebrating what you're doing. That's the cool stuff, huh?
Yeah, it is, and it feels good. And I tend to not, I'm not always the best at celebrating my stuff. So when they're excited and they're joining in, I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. So it's always nice.
Isn't that cool when that happens? Yeah. So that you're not tooting your horn, but they're tooting it for you, which is kind of nice. This is another recent project too. Tell us about this.
Oh yeah, well, this was a shoot I did actually, just a portrait shoot that when I started directing, I wanted to, my ballet teacher actually is an incredible photographer. He's like, I'll take your portraits. And we came up with these great shots that I was like, I want to show that I've grown, which is interesting, like what you're talking about as an artist, where my voice is coming up more as who I am and things I want to put out into the world, the kind of content I want to put out there. So yeah, this was one of the promo shots for that, and it's on my IMDb and on some places. So he did an amazing job.
Is it for one of the shows?
No, this was just for my own
Yeah.
my own promo as a director.
That's a great one.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's
That's
another promo shot.
yeah.
So is that, yeah.
Thank
I
you.
mean, do you have the hankering to go back into modeling at all?
I've worked here and there in the last few years. I haven't focused at all, but I would love to eventually. Absolutely. But I think it's going to be in a different way. Because my focus has just been 110% on acting and now writing and directing. But eventually I'm like, I would love a campaign. I'm very passionate about skincare. I've always wanted to have a
You
skincare
are.
line, so maybe I'll be the
Oh,
the
cool.
face of my own line. Yeah, that's been a lifelong dream. Yeah.
So what's your routine like? How do you prepare for a role when you have a role, whether it's a recurring role or it's a new role? What are some of the things you do to get yourself psyched, to get yourself ready and prepared to take the challenge of that character and what's on the scripts on to sort of make it your own? What are some of the things you do to prepare?
I mean, first I figure out what world this is in, because every show, every film is in a very specific, especially if it's done well, a very unique, specific world. And I want to live in that world as the actor coming in that role. Then just researching who this person is, sort of. I spend a lot more, I don't learn lines first. I spend a lot more time kind of figuring out who this person is as a human, how they interact with the other people in the scene or in the show or film, how they go through their day to day, how they go through their life as a human being, because you want to flesh it out as a full three-dimensional person, not just a character that does one thing. I try to really get into their skin that way. And then, of course, you have to learn the lines and the technical stuff. I've done a lot of theater, and doing that kind of training, you have a longer rehearsal period, so you have time to explore the character before locking anything in. And discovery is really big for me. So discovering certain things and using kind of different techniques and instinct to really sort of sometimes even surprise myself on
Yeah, right.
who this person is. Yeah, because there's always an element of yourself in a character. That's, you're gonna be somewhat you, even if you're transforming the most physically. There's a piece of you that is in that character, but all the other stuff around that, like, that's what I love. That's where I love to really discover. And I mean, I always joke since I was a kid. I was like, yeah, I could do this profession, I could do this, or I could just play them all. And that's, to me, like, acting is so much fun. It's
Take
like,
them all on. Yeah.
yeah, I was like, I was gonna be a doctor at one point in my life, and I was like, nah, just play one on TV. It's
You'll play
fine.
one on TV. That's right.
Yeah, because I love medical jargon. I love science. I used to watch surgeries on TV. I love all that stuff. But I'm like, I don't want to dedicate my life to just that. I can tell a story of this kind of person in something, and then I can go and be a scientist here, and then I can go be a, stay-at-home mother here, and you could play all sorts of stuff. But anyway, yeah, my process is different for every character and every role, but a lot of research, a lot of looking up stuff, in the field. If I don't know what, like for Immanence, I was like looking up all these astrophysics terms. I was such a nerd. I went to the library. This is, I got a bunch of books, and I was like,
Your eighth grade science teacher would love it.
yep, exactly. I was like, I was really into it. But that's the beauty of it for me, is that every character is a different human being, and they go through the world with a different experience. And I mean, to me, acting is study of the human condition. So I'm
Yes,
constantly
it
studying
is.
people. I'm such a people watcher. Sometimes I'm just outside, in New York. I lived in New York for 5 years.
Great place for people watching.
The best. It's, LA is pretty good. I have to, like, hide out at the hat, and I'll just sit somewhere and watch. But in New York,
More car counting in LA. More car counting
yeah,
on the
exactly.
highways.
Right. New York, you could just plant yourself on a
You
bench
walk
and
down this to the bagel shop or slice of pizza, and you can see 1,000 different faces.
so many different kinds of people. Such a, like, great melting pot. And Chicago too, where I'm from.
Yeah,
So I
sure.
was always looking at different people, different mannerisms, different ticks people have, the different ways they speak, different patterns of speech. So you can put all that into a character, and try something on. It doesn't work, try something else. So that's part
That's
of the
right.
discovery process. Yeah.
How do you not? I've asked this of a couple of guests who are in the acting world. How do you sort of separate yourself? You put elements of yourself into the character to enhance the character, of course, everybody does. But how do you separate yourself from the character? Some people get so immersed, especially if they're on a movie set where that movie's going on for a long time, or even on a soap opera where for years you may be playing that character and people know you really day in and day out as that character. So in the supermarket, they'll, scream across the aisle as the character name versus your name because they think you're her, and they'll say, well, why did you leave him? I liked him. Or why did you move into that house? So I don't like this and I don't like that. But with any of it, how do you separate? Because some of the roles, whatever they may be, can be very, very emotional and very intense. And I've heard stories of some saying sometimes they wake up, they look in the mirror, they don't know if they're that role or if they are still the person that they were before they took on the role. How do you separate the intensity and the role from who you are?
Yeah, it can definitely be challenging. I've had, especially early on, starting in my acting career, I've had stuff that lingered from a character that I've worked on for a while. I don't always realize it right away. I'm like, oh, I have this dream about that. That's still with me. So I have to consciously separate myself and know that that's not actually me in my life, and just make a conscious decision to not take that trauma on that character went through. I'm like, that's not me. But it can get definitely interwoven into who you are, because if you're going so deep, dark into a role, you have to believe it. It's like getting into the belief of it. So yeah, I've gotten better with it. I mean, that's part of the technique of acting, unless you're a diehard method actor that's living this, throughout the whole shoot, you sort of have to go home and leave it on set. Because otherwise, especially if it's dark and dramatic, it can really get into your head. So yeah, I think it's a case by case basis too, but it is definitely something I think a lot of actors, I don't know if struggle with, but have experienced. And certain characters are closer to you than others, so it's really important, I think, to have that ability to step in and step out of it and go back to yourself, especially when you wrap a project. Be like, okay.
Yeah.
And I played in Pan American. It's another film I have coming out. We shot last year in New York. I played a slightly psychopathic character, which was so much fun. She was a blast to play. But again, yeah, you can have fun with that and whatever, but I have to leave her on set because I'm not a psychopath. I just like to get into the skin of one. But I do that kind of thinking in prep, but it's always sort of a separate work section in my brain, if that makes any sense.
Yes, right. It's an area that you can call upon, but it's not necessarily you. What are some of the things that you like to do to find your zen and to balance, any of these industries are very demanding and unpredictable and require a lot of our energy, our physical and mental and spiritual energy. What do you do to sort of balance and find your zen? What are some things? Do you like to go running, swimming, listening to music? What do you like to do to balance it all out?
Running, walking. I walk every day. It's kind of my meditative zone.
Yeah.
Actually, today in my walk this morning with my dog, ideas will just come to me. The end of a story that I've been struggling with just came. I was like, oh, that's the ending. That's it. And sometimes when I'm just trying to figure it out, I can't. And then when you least kind of expect it and you're in a zone of, trying to be in this meditative zone where you're emptying your brain, which is almost impossible, but ideas can then flow in from divine inspiration, wherever it comes from. But I also meditate. I wish I was a little more disciplined about it. I studied with the Broadway legend Betty Buckley, who's incredible.
Oh, Betty Buckley, she's amazing. We
I
love her.
Love her so much, and she taught me a lot about that too, both to work on a character and also to get away and be healthy as a human being. The power of meditation and all that, and it takes discipline and it takes structure, and that's sometimes hard in the life of an artist because you don't have the same day in, day out ever. It's very rare that two of my days are the same. So as much as I can have some kind of consistency, even if it's just a walk every morning, I'm trying to implement that. Yoga, I also dancing, physical things, help a lot.
Do you like to cook?
I do. Yeah. I love
What's your specialty? Do you have a couple of specialties? We do have a foodie crowd here.
Really? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not that advanced. I'm very much a home chef.
Do you do Polish specialties at all?
I don't. I learned a little bit as a kid, and they are very difficult. No, I don't know if it's difficult. Time consuming.
Yeah.
So I can definitely do it, but I tend to be very simplistic. I think great ingredients, simple things always taste good to me. I did a vegetable stir fry yesterday, a little bit of spice.
Nice.
I do good soups.
Oh, I'm a soup person. Yeah. You do good soups. All year long, I love soups.
Me too. And
party and comfort food.
Exactly. And, I've been just trying to be healthy, and I'm like, if I know what's going into it, I know it's healthy. But I joke around, which is kind of true. I don't really follow recipes well. I'm sort of an improvisational cook.
Pinch of this, a dash of that, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Together. And if people love it, I said I may or may not be able to recreate this ever again. But that was great that it worked this time. But I do enjoy it a lot. I have a lot of kitchen gadgets, as my boyfriend says. It's like kitchen gadgets.
There's kitchen gadgets all over.
Yeah.
So your stocking stuffers are kitchen gadgets.
Yeah, I got an air fryer recently, which is amazing. Ooh. And, you just
good.
Try all different things in there. Yeah, and everything turns out good. You kind of can't mess it up.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's great. Yeah, I do love to cook. We actually did a 2-hour foodie episode of this show where I cooked a whole meal and was dining with the viewers, and then they sent in all these recipes, and we talked about their recipes and their family traditions, and it was really fantastic. And it was like almost like a 3-hour live epic broadcast, but it was really, 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 really cool.
Nice. I love that.
Lovity.
Yeah, I love that. What I've been wanting to do is like a healthier take on Polish food, because a lot of it's very heavy and
sausages and beef meats, and
I love with the sauerkraut and the beets, like all those flavors. I'm like, you can make those things into sort of lighter, healthier things. Is kind of something I want to play with. So maybe I'll do a healthy cuisine of Polish.
Do you like to travel too? Do you like to travel to different areas and explore?
I do. I love it. I've been trying to do that more because I realized for many years I was just working until 2020 and the pandemic hit. I'm like, I'm going to go see the whole country. And I spent 3 months on the road, and I saw more of the US than I have in my whole life.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was incredible. And the biggest takeaway for me is how vast and huge and how different all parts of the country are.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah, and I've only been in big cities. I went from Chicago to New York to LA, but seeing the in-betweens and the variations, it was
the landscape, geography, topography. I say that to people. I've had opportunities to visit on vacation, but also do television shoots and work overseas too. And I always tell people, if you're, some people that complain about where they live, if you want to really have a newfound appreciation for where you live, like especially here in America and all of the beauty of it and the vast nature and the freedoms that we have and a lot of that, go visit somewhere else, fall in love with that other enchanting place, enjoy it, enjoy the food, the people, the culture, add that to your photo album of memories, but then watch what happens. You'll get this reappreciation for home, for what's here. And when you take, you drive across, or if you just even fly from city to city and you explore various areas, even from coast to coast, not even including Alaska, Hawaii, or just the coast to coast areas, It's incredibly breathtaking. You go from New Mexico to Chicago to Florida to Seattle to Maine to San Diego and everywhere in between, and it's gorgeous. It's
It's
fantastic. It's
stunning. Yeah.
amazing all in the one land, the Grand Canyon and Yosemite and Death Valley and
Which I haven't even hit all those. Oh my gosh, I gotta go.
road trip, a gym
Travel.
master. Well, we're going on a lovely cruise next May to Bermuda, which is
Amazing.
exciting. I've been there twice, and I don't know if you've ever been to Bermuda, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Pink coral sand beaches.
Wow.
And it has that British flair because it's still, overseen by UK and Great Britain. So it has the Bermudian influence. It has the UK influence. The officers that are directing traffic have the suit jacket on with the tie and the shirt and the high hat, but they're in Bermuda shorts and sandals.
Oh my God, really? Wow.
It's absolutely the coastline, the people, the food. It's really, really beautiful. So we're going to do a lovely cruise next May. But where are some places, in addition to probably Bermuda, where you would like to travel to that you enjoy?
Oh man, Bermuda. Never been. Sounds amazing. I want to go to Hawaii. Never
Lovely
been.
cruise.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Hawaii.
I mean, this is so silly because I live in LA, but I've not been to San Francisco yet, and that's on my list. I'm like, I just need to drive up the coast one day. But it's the way everybody talks about it's a very interesting kind of its own culture. That's how I also felt about New Orleans. I love because it's like it's in the US, but isn't really. It's like such an interesting.
Yes.
Missing the comments written. I'm like, I see it. I'm like, oh, I missed it. I'm talking. But yeah, I mean, I want to travel more of Europe as well. I want to go to Scotland and Ireland. My sister went. She said they're just the most stunning places. She's her favorite.
Yes.
I want to go to Japan. Beautiful. I mean, I have a big list.
You'll have to create some projects that take you there, right? On location shoots and things.
Exactly. I'm sure I'll be back, in Poland or somewhere near there to shoot something. Hopefully soonish, but that's definitely on the list, to go back
on that list. Mm-hmm. What about Broadway and things of that nature? If opportunities came to be a part of a Broadway production, is that something that's in your wheelhouse?
Yeah, it's one of my dreams for sure.
It is.
Oh yeah, I've done a theater of the classics. I've done a lot of Chekhov, Shakespeare. I remember, I think they got shut down, but they were doing Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
Everything at one time, everything was shut down to the.
Yeah, and I was like, I need to play Honey one day. That's one of my roles I worked on in class, and I was like, I got to play that role. And also The Seagulls, like my favorite play of all time. I'm like, I need to, those kind of things. But also, modern contemporary stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Broadway is on my bucket list. I'm like, at least get me
Lori
for that.
Yes, that's right. Welcome, Lori Brown. She watches Bold and Beautiful all the time, she said. First time here. Welcome, Lori, to the Gym Masters Show. It's great to have you here, part of our Lovity squad. Yes, part of the Lovity family. So this is really cool because you got all these terrific things that you're working on and things you've been a part of. And then you have your balance, how to balance it out and to sort of find your solace and your zen. What are some other things that you would like to do, maybe even outside of the field of entertainment? Are there other things you're like, I still want to do this. I want to take on this. I'd love to learn that.
Oh, man.
Everything, right?
Everything. Yeah, I'm just so curious about everything.
Me too, yeah.
I think the acting stuff brings me into different worlds, and I'd be trying to learn this for my character or a certain sport or things like that. So I get to explore a lot of that. I still haven't surfed, which I want to do in California.
Have you done boogie boarding?
I have, not well, but I can practice.
I do it quite a bit, I've surfed, but the very first time that I did boogie boarding, believe it or not, was in San Diego, California, and we were visiting friends. We just graduated college and we had an opportunity to go to California for the entire summer because college roommate's sister and her husband were stationed in San Diego. So they had the housing. So we got invited to go from the East Coast, me from New York, him from Boston, and a bunch of other friends to spend the summer there. And we had use of the car. I mean, it was like a gold mine. It was like a, celebrating the graduation of college sort of trip.
Yeah.
It was really incredible. So we flew, I think the stopover was Kansas City, and then we continued to San Diego. And then another friend that had graduated the year before us came down from LA, from Costa Mesa, and he took us up and took us all around Beverly Hills, Costa Mesa, LA, Laguna, La Jolla, beautiful places. But when we were in San Diego, we got an opportunity to do the boogie boarding for the first time back then. And it was like, wow, this looks exciting. And, the waves, like the East Coast, some of the waves on the Pacific can be pretty sizable. And the current can really be, we say, stay away from the piers. If the current pulls you towards the pier, stay away, get yourself away. You'll be slapped up against the piers. So I'm on the boogie board, and we're not far out, but we're not right on top of the shoreline, but everybody's there and everybody's having a good time. And what was happening was the fierceness of these waves that were coming. There would be one wave that you're laying on the boogie board, and a boogie board is like half a surfboard. So the rest of your body is like floating in the water, but you're hanging on, and you sort of lay down as opposed to standing like the surfboard. You're laying down and you're riding the wave into the shore. Well, what happened the very first time, and I learned my lesson, what happened the first time was the first wave came that we were riding, but there was a bigger one right behind it that you couldn't see because you're on this one and here's this other one, like the mother one. And that's what came over. And what it did was, with the boogie board, which is very unusual because those boogie boards float, they're very buoyant, they float.
Yeah.
That wave was so powerful, that current was so powerful, it actually pulled me under with me still holding on to the buoyant boogie board down to the bottom, and I banged my head on the sand. So it threw me down to the bottom of the ocean. And I saw the bottom of the ocean, and with the boogie board still intact, I held on to that for dear life. And by hanging on to it, you sort of shoot back up because of the boogie board wants to come back up because it's light. But it did thrust me down, and then I came right back up. I was like, what my God, that's like crazier than any, loop to loop roller coaster. It was really an amazing thing. So, you have to watch, but generally now we don't, we're not going to do, if you're going to do boogie boarding, we're not going to do it if the waves are like, that's more surfing.
Right.
Boogie boarding is more gliding in and having fun.
And an easier wave.
But the waves that day in San Diego were quite intense.
Oh my gosh.
So we kind of,
So I'm going to start on an easy day.
Yeah. So what a cool graduation tip. It sure was, Lori. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, you get a chance to do that. So boogie boarding is a lot of fun, and
start there.
I love watching those TV shows where they have the surfers like in Maui and they're surfing on these like 80-foot waves. God bless those people who, I mean, to me, it's just so thrilling that they have the stamina to take on, wave the size of a skyscraper and just float on it like it's nothing. Is there anything that you've wanted to do that's a little, bungee jumping out of a plane? I mean, all these different things. Anything that's crazy, or are you like being on land?
I mean, I love flying, but I don't want to jump out of the plane. Take me somewhere. Rock climbing.
I don't want to jump out of it. I mean, I paid $600 for this ticket. I'm not jumping out.
I'm not scared, but bungee jumping sounds terrifying to me.
Yeah, no, that's
skydive. I think the bungee cord. I'm like, who knows where you're going to bounce and hit? I don't know.
Yes.
But yeah, but maybe rock climbing. I definitely like stuff like that. I love the ocean though. I've been scuba diving before. I want to
Oh, you
continue
did.
with
You
that.
did
Oh
do
yeah, I've been a couple of times. I did half a certification. I didn't take the test because I was in Chicago at the time and it was so cold. I was like, I'm not getting in now. So I have to probably redo that class. And but I'd like to get certified for sure. My dad and I went a couple times when I was younger, and I haven't done it in many years. But I love underwater, and it's like a whole other world.
it. Really is, isn't it?
Peaceful. Have you been?
I did it couple of times. My brother-in-law actually has done it where they have off the East Coast um, gone, I mean, diving for sunken ships and the recovery, like recovering things that have been left on sunken ships.
Mm,
And that's quite amazing. Some of those stories of the things that are still in ships that sunk many years ago.
yeah.
There's all kinds of things. So there's recovery that they do. He's done it. It's something he did, years ago, but uh, really incredible stories, huh?
Oh yeah, that'd be amazing.
Can't be claustrophobic to do any of that.
No, and yeah, you can't be on Deep Beach, Australia. Yes, I would like to go there.
Yes,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah, I mean that's like something incredible. I mean, it is another world underwater, and finding sunken like past stuff is fascinating. I've watched some documentaries where they're doing that, and I love that because treasures for real.
Absolutely right. Yeah. So you
Very
have some remind us of some of the cool things you have coming up that we could look for. And of course, The Bold and Beautiful is on the Tiffany Network, CBS, and what are some of the other things again that whether they're past productions that people can still see online or things that are upcoming that you're excited about that you want to share?
Yeah, well, Immanence is still playing. You could see it on Apple TV, Amazon, other streamers. Coming up, hopefully, my short normal will be streaming soon. We're working on that. And then the films I have coming out: Alaska, Pan American, and uh, I am blanking. The Plantation Tour. That's the other film I shot last year. Those are upcoming, as well as a series called The Taylor Files.
The Taylor Files, right? That's a Canadian series, right? Tell us
Yeah.
about that one for because we have a
Oh,
Canadian audience watching as well.
yeah. That one is very. It's such a cool story, and my character is very. That one I transformed for. I had a dark wig on. I have a Russian accent. I'm
Oh,
playing this
wow.
very, very badass former KGB woman with telekinetic powers. One of my favorite roles to like really dive into and work on. I'm not sure when it's coming out, but I cannot wait. So I think about 5 episodes of that one, and that will be streaming, I believe. But Canadian based, but I'm sure you can get it everywhere. So yeah, those are exciting things so
Very
far.
exciting. Yeah. Why do you love what you're doing? Why is this such a blessing and a joy for you? You're getting a chance to really express, who you are, and you've grown as an actress and performer, entertainer, as much as you have a person contributing to society. And what are some of those blessings and joys that continue to come your way?
There's so many. Every day is a blessing. I feel so grateful to do what I do. It's like I was saying, the study of people. I feel like I really understand the human condition more, and that goes in my work and in my life. Just really getting a chance to empathize with people,
Yes.
and hopefully by telling stories that can be seen, I can make a difference. Even like I said, if it's in one person's life, I strive to make a difference, and I think we all need to be more connected now than ever. So if we can help each other feel less alone, feel more connected, technology is the great connector, yet we feel more disconnected than ever. So I think
Right.
breaking
And
down those barriers and being heart to heart, human to human is my goal.
sounds like we're kindred spirits and we understand empathy, emotional intelligence. We understand empowering others, not just entertaining, but inspiring people. Because as you inspire, you get inspired
Yeah.
yourself. It comes back full circle. But also, you and I probably would have been brilliant psychology majors, huh?
I love psychology.
Me
Loved
too.
that.
Me
I was
too.
very good at that, and it's just because if you're interested in something, I feel like you can be good at something.
Are you a people watcher, an observer of life? I know you mentioned when you're in New York and other cities, you really like to, get an understanding of how people operate and their mannerisms and speech patterns and facial expressions. And I'm
Oh,
always doing that too. Sometimes I'll be even be on a train or plane, and two people will be doing something or chatting or expressing in a certain way, and I'll have somebody with me and we're like, you know what they're really saying, you know what they're really doing, and I'll create this one act play between the two of them just
right.
based on what they're doing and how they're moving. Do you do that too?
I do that too. Or in a restaurant, I'm like, oh, they're on a first date.
This is what they're really doing, and right,
Yes,
you're sizing it all up, and you're like, this is what
absolutely.
she's really saying to him, this is what he's saying, vice versa.
Exactly. Oh my God, people are endlessly fascinating. And animals too, like dogs are fascinating to me, and the personalities are so specific.
Yes,
Babies and kids who have no filter yet of societal norms,
yes.
incredibly free. And I love watching every age, everybody. I'm an absolute people watcher, studier.
That's cool stuff. So you're loving it. And
Yeah.
well, this was really a blessing. I just want to show you who was with us. George Burns was with us.
Hello,
Usually,
hello.
yeah, comedian George Burns is here with his cigar and with his hanky, his red hanky. And he
Amazing.
starred as God in the Oh God movies series. And of course, the legendary comedian with George Burns and Gracie Allen. He said you knocked it out of the park and he loved meeting you.
Oh, well, likewise. Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah,
you
isn't that kind of
for
cool? We have
having
a whole cast of characters. We got the IG Magini bottle sitting right here.
me. Ooh,
Yeah,
it's
that would have been a
amazing.
good role to have, huh? To be Genie in that series.
Oh, what a fun role. Yeah.
Gilligan from Gilligan's Island says
Thank
hello.
you.
All the cast of characters are hanging around JMS here. What would be one final
All
thing
the
you'd
great.
like to right? What would be something final you'd like to say either about our conversation, the show, other things, my friend?
Oh, well, thank you so much for chatting with me and being so what is your lovely philosophy. I love your energy and this nice comments coming in. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I like always love to chat about the craft and everything. So like you said, I feel like very kind and kindred spirit with you. So thank you so much.
Right back at you, my friend. Right back at you. And you're, of course, on all the social media and website, and everybody can find you at
Yeah.
all the usual places. And I hope the show, yes, right, exactly. I hope the show met whatever expectations you had and you enjoyed the time with me as much as I have with you. It was absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. I did. Very nice. Thank you, everybody. I love all the sweet comments. It's been great. And thank you for watching.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're coming in from Kansas and New York and Canada and
Drama.
Sweden and Japan and Australia, all
Yeah.
around the world here on got that international lovely audience here on the Jim Masters show.
Yeah, I love
Pleasure having you here.
bringing everyone together. I love that.
Yeah, exactly. Nikki says the same thing. Glad you're enjoying life. Great conversation. Maureen in Arizona. She just talked to George. She remembers you as a contestant.
Yeah.
Recycle 16. She remembers you. Yeah, that's
Thanks.
it. Oh, if you Google her name, you'll see her all kinds of things. And
All
practice pronouncing it too.
yes, exactly. That's the hard part. Gotta talk to your Polish friends.
Why would you change it? It's a beautiful name. Absolutely. Joan says that you're a joy and thank you. May all your dreams come true. Thanks, JMS. You're the
Thank
best host. Thank you
you.
very much. I appreciate that. Good stuff. We'll keep the porch light on for you, my friend. You are welcome back to our show anytime. Really love chatting with you and get a chance to converse with you in our conversational style. Hey, we don't call these interviews. We call these conversations on the Jim Masters show. And Maureen says, and you are still a beauty. May God continue to bless you and all you do.
Thank you.
Well, if you weren't feeling good today, you just hop on our show. You end up feeling like $1 million.
Right.
You take care, my friend. Best of luck with everything that's going on. Spread the show about the Jim Master Show. We would love that. Spread the word, and we will do the same with you as well, my friend.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for everything. Thank
You are very welcome. You take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. So she's amazing. Wonderful having Kasia here on the show, spending all this time with us. Got a chance to learn a little bit more about her. And again, you probably recognize her most notably with The Bold and the Beautiful on CBS. She has that recurring role, so you can see her regularly on CBS on the legendary daytime drama, The Bold and the Beautiful, of course. Immanence was another one too. She said that is available and streaming. And then we also showed some of these other great shots. Again, of course, we mentioned her incredible modeling career too. She was on America's Next Top Model. Look at this shot here. Another great one. Yeah, that's that, of course, on CW. And she also talked about, being a shy, and The Normal is another one that she actually was involved in co-creating, co-producing, which is very exciting. And, it's just getting started. Some really cool things. We congratulate her on all the exciting things that she has her hands involved in. You guys know I love the ocean. We talked about the ocean quite a bit. I love the ocean. That's the Atlantic Ocean. You do have to pull me out of it. Swimming, surfing, boogie boarding, sailing it, walking it, barefoot especially. Love the ocean. Find your Zen place, gang. Wherever your Zen place is, find your Zen place and make it your own. Make it your own. If you ever miss any of our episodes, our prolific episodes of the Jim Masters Show live series, just look back in our archives. You can see them all here on our YouTube channel. Look who's here tomorrow. Another amazing, renowned actor. He's starring in a brand new HBO Max series, The Winning Time. It's going to be amazing. Spencer Garrett is with us tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Again, a renowned actor who's been in epic movies, television shows, series, you name it. He's going to be with us. And then on Thursday, Darcy Donovan's going to be with us, actress, former Ms. Nashville, Tennessee, the crypto queen. This is her return visit. She has some new exciting things. She's starring in Secret Agent Dingledorf. That's right. That's on Amazon. She was in Modern Family. She was in the movie The Anchorman with Will Ferrell, Parks and Recreation, 6 Feet Under, Bones. I mean, a ton of TV series. We have an epic conversation for you when Darcy is with us this Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. 4 p.m. Pacific. So Spencer Garrett is with us tomorrow. That's going to be epic. Darcy is with us on Thursday. And then, of course, we have guest after guest after guest. We appreciate Kasia joining us here. She's a brilliant filmmaker, a brilliant actress, and a brilliant person. And really wonderful having her here on the show, the Jim Masters Show live entertainment lifestyle talk show series. Hey, gang, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We love when you do. That helps us. That means you're a part of the JMS family. And there's no cost to do that. Subscribe, support our show, our channel, our series. Don't forget to click the notification bell as well. It's a little bell icon there. Don't forget to click it so that way there you never miss any episodes of the Jim Masters Show entertainment lifestyle variety talk show series. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. We would love it. Appreciate all of you who have done that already. So, and share the links, share the word, tell everybody about our series. We absolutely love that. And we hope you enjoyed this episode. Really fantastic. Nikki says, thanks, Jim, for the amazing variety of guests who visit us. I know it's kind of cool, isn't it? Every show is different. Every show is unique. Every show is something special. We don't stick to just one genre. We really celebrate life. Gary, thank you. Great show, Jim and the Lovedies. Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here, Gary, for tuning in and watching along with us as well. Terrific guest. We appreciate her being here. And you can see over now it's like 660 episodes of the Jim Masters Show live series right here on our YouTube channel. You can binge watch, you can share the links, you can have a good time. And if you want to know more about our exciting Jim Masters Show Lovely Cruise, we are so super excited. We've posted it all on social media. You guys have been asking to go on a Lovely Cruise. we wanted to make sure it was at the right time. We wanted to make sure that it was something that appealed to a wide variety of people. You guys said you wanted something a little bit closer. So Bermuda, absolutely beautiful. It's 600 miles off the American coast, so it's not that far. And we're going to easily depart from New York and then Virginia Beach. It's going to be amazing. And we're going to have an epic time next May 7th through 14th, hopefully with all of you on our JMS exclusive Lovity Cruise. There's going to be special surprise guests, meets and greets, and of course, all the other incredible things that happen on the cruise ship, which are fabulous. And we're going to be sailing on the amazing, brand new Norwegian Prima, which is one of their newest, most epic, luxurious ships. And it's going to be terrific. I've been to Bermuda twice. I've been on several of these cruises. So we wanted to put together something nice. And I know we've been talking a while about going on a Lovity cruise, and you guys have been so excited about it. So we have our official travel agency who was put together with Dream Vacations, an extraordinary opportunity. So you can check out the information on our social media in our Facebook group, the Jim Masters Show Lovity Hall. Also at Jim Masters TV on Facebook, we've posted the information. You can call the travel agency. They can tell you all about it. Karen there is very accessible. She can answer any questions. Many of you have been inquiring, and that's exciting too. And some of our guests want to also come on. So there'll be some surprises, folks who you've seen come through the Jim Masters Show. So it's a year from now. So plenty of time to get ready and plan. We didn't want to have something just pop up, 6 months from now, a whole year, and beautiful Bermuda. So we worked hard to put something really beautiful together for all of you. Check it out, inquire, ask any questions, and learn about it. It's going to be absolutely epic. And as we celebrate 2 years now, our show has been on the air for 2 years. 2 years now, right now. It's our 2-year anniversary right now, I think this week. Amazing. It's been 2 years, huh? And over 660 episodes. Wow, that is amazing. That is amazing. So again, if you want to join us on our official, beautiful Lovity cruise to Bermuda and all the cool things that are going to be happening and meet and greet and everything else, check out the information on our Facebook pages. It's all right there for you. And then you can click on the links. You can see a video about the beautiful ship. You can connect with our travel agency. That is our travel agency for our show. Karen and the team, they'll be very happy to answer any questions. And it'll be really nice, hopefully, to see you and you there and meet in person and have a fantastic time. Merlin says the ship looks fantastic. It absolutely is. Check it out, gang. Thank you, Kathleen. Maybe you'll be with us on the Lovity cruise. That'll be cool. And maybe Christine as well. Thanks for the enjoyable conversation. I appreciate that. Thanks for all your efforts and time to provide us wonderful shows every week. Absolutely. We do something different. We've got a Jim Masters Show Lovity cruise we designed for you. All kinds of cool stuff that only happens here on the Jim Masters Show. So, gang, we're going to scoot off. Got a busy day tomorrow, but we've got Spencer Garrett joining us, an incredible guest, a legendary actor. Thank you. Yes, Kasia was here. We loved it. Thanks, Jim, for having her. This was a fun, interesting show. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, she sure does have spunk, like Lou Grant said on Mary Tyler Moore. You guys are the best. All right. Again, if you want to check out more about our Lovity cruise, see it on our Facebook pages, Jim Masters TV, and also the Jim Masters Show Lovity Hall, that group. We thank Kasia for being with us. And we thank you for being with us as well. This is your host, Jim Masters, thanking you for your time this time till next time. Now, around here, we don't say goodbye. We say see you later. We say cheers, ciao, hasta la vista, auf Wiedersehen, slancha. We say shalom, sayonara. But we don't say goodbye because we'll be here on the next episode. Jim and my dear Lovities, have a wonderful rest of your day. Tight Lovity hugs going out to each of you. And hopefully, Maureen, will see you. I know you were excited about our Lovity cruise as well for some time. Hopefully, we'll see you on the Jim Masters Show Lovity cruise next year as well. And Linda, thank you very much. You like the Paisley shirt tonight. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You guys are the best. All right. Thanks for being with us, gang. Again, one more time, if you'd like to learn more about our Lovely Cruise, it's going to be amazing. It's May 7th through 14th, 2023. And we're going to have a beautiful time. Bermuda is absolutely breathtaking. Pink coral sand and all the activities on the cruise ship. And it's a beautiful, beautiful ship. And we designed it all for you. So we're going to have a good time. All right, gang, we're going to say see you later. More comments coming in. Thanks for all the comments. So we love you all. Seeing these comments coming in. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would absolutely love that. And thanks for being with us in this episode. We'll see you on the next one. For those of you who are watching live, see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. For those of you who are not watching live, you are watching this later on in the archives. We invite you to stay right there. Another epic episode of the Jim Masters Show comes up right here. And there's over 660 that you can binge watch, which is amazing. Don't forget to give this episode a thumbs up. There's a little thumbs up icon there. You can see it on all the episodes. Give it a little thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment on the YouTube channel. Even though I know you guys love to chat live, leave a comment on the YouTube channel. Many of you have been doing that, and thank you so much. We really, really sincerely appreciate everybody who's leaving comments. Any questions, comments about how much you enjoy our individual shows, our series, and everything else. All right, gang. Jim Masters saying thanks for being with us. We'll see you on the next episode right here of the Jim Masters Show. Take care. Be well. Cheers.